My sister-in-law pranked me by giving me alcohol knowing I don't drink, and I feel so hurt even though she didn't know it would trigger my childhood trauma. I, 29F, don't drink alcohol. The short answer to the reason for this is I grew up with two highly abusive alcoholic parents. It took me a lot of self-work and therapy to even be able to be in the same room as people that are drinking. When I meet new people, I just politely turn down drinks by saying something along the lines of I don't drink. There has obviously been some instances where people ask me why, but I never go into the traumatic details. I've never had anyone push it onto me or anything. That's what makes what happened last weekend so bizarre. On the second Saturday of every month, my husband, 30M, and his sister, 32F, throw a cookout or something along the lines for all of their childhood friends. I've always thought it was really cool that they stayed close with so many people since I myself moved away from home and only stay in contact with one friend from school. I've been attending these hangouts ever since my husband and I started dating. There's never been any issues. I get along well with his friends and his sister. Last Saturday, my husband took my 11-year-old little brother out of town for a dad and Sunday. We're his legal guardians. I've had custody of him since I was 20. So I went to the cookout alone this time. I've done this a couple times before, it's always been fine. So, my sister-in-law handed out the usual mimosas, and I asked for just orange juice like always. When I took a sip of the drink she handed me, I immediately spit it out because I could taste champagne. I turned around to my sister-in-law and said, "Oh, you must have given me your drink by mistake." When I turned, I noticed her and two of her friends laughing. I was so confused. I asked what was going on and my sister-in-law said through her giggles, "We thought it would be funny to see how you react to alcohol since we've never seen you drink it before. You should have seen your face." I was honestly just so shocked by that my only response was, "What the hell?" As they continued laughing, I just told them I was leaving. I honestly don't even remember that drive home because I was trying to keep myself from having a panic attack. When I finally got home, I just broke down crying. My husband and brother got home shortly after that and I couldn't hide how I was feeling even if I wanted to. My husband immediately asked me what was wrong and I just broke down again. I hate that my brother had to see me cry. I try to keep our house as happy and safe as possible. After I put on a movie for my brother, I explained what happened to my husband. He was so mad. I've never seen him like that before. He told me to go relax with my brother and he was gonna sort everything out. I could hear him yelling at his sister on the phone and after almost an hour, he came and sat with us and told me we wouldn't be seeing her again. The next day, we told my mother and father-in-law. I've always been really close with them so I wanted to confide in them, but I was obviously scared because that's their daughter and I didn't want to talk bad about her to them. To my surprise, they were absolutely mortified and so apologetic on behalf of their daughter. I'm so glad because my little brother adores them. It would have been devastating if our relationship with them suffered because of this. So, yeah. This past week has been so weird. I feel weirdly betrayed. I hate that my sister-in-law and her friends used me as some sort of entertainment for the day. I know that they don't know the trauma this triggered inside of me, but I'm just so confused on why they thought that was an okay thing to do. I also feel guilty because I don't want my husband to stop going to the cookouts and lose his time with his friends and I don't want him and his sister to never see each other again because of me. My husband is amazing and has assured me it wouldn't be my fault if they never speak again. It's just hard not to feel that way. Don't worry though, I've had a lot of emergency therapy sessions this week and I know I'll be okay. It was just such a bizarre thing to experience. It seems like such a small, inconsequential thing to have happened to me. But it's been a crash course on trauma, triggers, PTSD, etc. Typing it out has been so helpful. Thanks for listening to my ramblings. Update, 4 days later, thank you to everyone that left me kind comments and messages on my previous post. I'll just get right into the update. A lot of you guessed right. This isn't the first time my sister-in-law has done something like this. She is definitely what some would consider a mean girl. My husband and his parents have had multiple falling outs with her over the years, but they've been on good terms recently until she pranked me. So, yeah. I could see how my husband's immediate reaction to go no contact seemed like an overreaction, but he's dealt with a lot from her in the past. I don't want to give any specific examples because they're personal to my husband and his family. Hope you all understand. So here's what happened after my last post. After talking with my therapist and my husband, I decided I wanted to message my sister-in-law. I asked her if she wanted to get lunch and talk about what happened. I wanted to explain some of my past to her, my PTSD diagnosis, and why what she did affected me so much. I just wanted this to be over and for us to come to an understanding. But she never responded. A couple of my husband's friends that were at the cookout when the prank happened called us to check in on me. They said they had no idea my sister-in-law planned that and they never would have let it happen. That's probably why she didn't clue them in on the prank. They told me that after I left, they told her it wasn't cool. After a couple days I just gave up hope of her messaging me back and decided to start moving on. Yesterday, my sister-in-law blew up my husband's phone. She said some pretty awful things. To summarize, it was along the lines of "It's not my fault your wife is a pussy that is scared of champagne." She called me a bunch of names, from everything to bitch, cunt, etc. She said she never liked me and she wished my husband stayed with his high school girlfriend. They broke up when they were 18 by the way, my husband is 30. Lol. The worst thing she said was, my husband was just doing charity by taking in a couple of orphans. If you don't remember, I have custody of my 11-year-old brother and we don't have any contact with our parents because they're abusive. So yeah, some pretty awful stuff. I was honestly just shocked. I thought we got along fine. We were never best friends or anything, but I had no idea she held this much animosity towards me. Maybe she's just embarrassed and lashing out because her parents or some of her friends berated her for it? I don't know. My husband sent just one message back to her saying he never wants to see or talk to her again and then blocked her and her husband's numbers. He told his parents what happened and they were furious too. I don't know what they said to her, but they're about as done as my husband. Since I've been in therapy and have support around me, her words didn't bother me much. I know she obviously has some problems to deal with and I'm just her latest target. The worst thing she did was bring my brother up. I'll never forgive her for that. He's not an orphan. He has 2 parents that love him. And I'm not either. I have in-laws that love and support me. They always have my back, even when it comes to their own daughter. If I never see my sister-in-law again, I'd be fine with that. I truly hope one day she'll come to her senses and understand the way she treats people isn't right. We've decided to turn every second Saturday of the month into family day in place of the cookouts. I'm gonna be just fine. I'm already feeling miles better than I did writing my previous post. For everyone calling me dramatic, I'm genuinely glad you don't have any experience with PTSD or triggers. I don't think it's funny to give someone alcohol without their consent even if you know the person drinks. Anyway, again, thank you for all the kind words. I hope there will be no more updates, but if anything crazy happens, I'll let you know.